All right, buckle up, folks. Today, we are diving headfirst into a world of digital drama, pile drivers, and plot twists that would make even Shakespeare jealous.
Oh, is that right?
You better believe it. We're talking about Me and the Boys wrestling.
Okay, see, now you've got my attention. I've heard whispers of this Me and the Boys wrestling, but I haven't had the chance to check it out yet.
Well, consider this your crash course. Basically, picture this. It's not your typical wrestling show. We're talking a full-blown fictional wrestling universe playing out on YouTube, but with production quality that could rival Monday Night Wrestling.
Now that's intriguing. So it's more than just backyard brawls and shaky cam footage. They're going all out with this.
All out and then some. Storylines, rivalries, characters, you name it, they've got it. We're talking about a level of detail and commitment to the craft of storytelling that's honestly pretty impressive.
All right, color me intrigued. So where do we even begin with this deep dive? What's got you so fired up?
Well, let me tell you, we're dropping in on a multi-episode arc that's got more twists and turns than a pretzel factory.
Oh, I love me a good pretzel. Lay it on me. What kind of shenanigans are we talking about?
Think poisoning, shocking betrayals, and a royal rumble for the ages.
Whoa, 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 hold on. Poisoning. Now that's taking things to a whole new level.
Right. It's wild. This whole thing has been unfolding for weeks now with two of their top guys, DMP and French Lover, claiming that someone's been trying to sabotage them.
Sabotage. As in messing with their wrestling gear. Hiding foreign objects. What are we talking about here?
I mean, think more like messed up sports drinks.
Whoa, really? Like tampering with their post-match refreshments? That's messed up.
Right, and they kept dropping these hints that they had proof, which anyone who's seen a lick of wrestling knows always gets the rumor mill churning.
Oh, for sure. You got to keep the audience guessing, keep them on the edge of their seats. That's Wrestling 101.
Yeah.
But I have to say, poisoning is a bold move.
Mm.
So did they ever find out who was behind it?
That's the thing. This latest episode drops a bombshell, like a straight-up audio recording of Booker Man, who, for those playing at home, is the show's promoter and basically implied to be pulling the strings behind the scenes.
Ah, the puppet master. I knew there had to be a mastermind behind all this chaos.
Anyway, we hear him talking to another wrestler, Dr. Volcano, and he basically admits to orchestrating the whole thing.
What? No way. They went there. They actually exposed the whole conspiracy.
Yep. And the language he uses is chilling. He's talking about dealing with problems and mentions the Richie the American luchador situation, which, let me tell you, sent shivers down my spine.
Okay, now you've got to elaborate on this Richie the American luchador situation. That sounds ominous.
Right. It's like they allude to this whole backstory, this tragedy, without ever fully explaining it.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's like they're tapping into our collective fear of the unknown, the things that go bump in the night. Suddenly, this lighthearted wrestling show takes a dark turn. You're left wondering what happened to Richie, and could this happen to DMP and French Lover?
Exactly. And, I've got to hand it to them. It's a really clever way to raise the stakes. They've taken something that feels ripped from the headlines, this fear of drink spiking, and used it to ground this fictional world in a terrifying reality.
And what's fascinating is how this all plays into our own anxieties, right? It's like,
Yeah.
even though we know it's all scripted, it still taps into this primal fear of being vulnerable, of being betrayed by someone you trust.
100%. And it makes DMP's reaction all the more believable. This isn't just a wrestler playing a part. This is personal. He's not calling for a legal team or going to the authorities within their fictional world.
Oh, trust me, I get it. This isn't about legalities anymore. This is about pride, honor, and maybe a little bit of good old-fashioned revenge.
You got it. He wants revenge.
And that's where things take an interesting turn, right? Because we've got this poisoning plot brewing, but then they throw a Royal Rumble into the mix.
Oh, yeah, the Royal Rumble. For those who haven't experienced the glorious mayhem that is a Royal Rumble, let me break it down for you. Imagine a wrestling ring, but instead of just two guys duking it out, you've got a whole bunch of them, like a wrestling free-for-all.
It's like a battle royale, with wrestlers entering the ring at timed intervals. The goal, the last one standing. And let me tell you, with that many egos and finishing moves flying around, it's pure chaos in the best way possible.
Pure chaos indeed. So how does this tie into the whole DMP and French Lover situation? Did their poisoning nemesis strike again?
Well, it's not so much a direct attack, but more like the poison plot is weaved into the fabric of the Rumble itself. It's like a shadow hanging over everything. But the Rumble also serves as this brilliant narrative device to move other storylines forward. You see rivalries ignite, alliances crumble, and just when you think you know what's going to happen, bam, they hit you with a swerve.
Ah, the classic wrestling swerve. So, walk us through some of the highlights. Were there any underdog stories, triumphant returns, shocking betrayals? Give us the good stuff.
Oh, we had it all. First off, you've got Critz starting at the dreaded #1 spot.
Which, for our non-wrestling fans, is basically like volunteering to run through a gauntlet of pain.
Pretty much. The odds are never in your favor when you're the first one in that ring. But Creedy, bless his heart, he held his own. He lasted longer than anyone expected, fighting tooth and nail against some of the heavy hitters. It was a true underdog story for the ages.
I love it. It's that never-give-up spirit that gets the crowd going. So who else stole the show?
Well, you can always count on me and the boys wrestling to inject some humor into the mix. Case in point, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
Hold on, did you say Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? As in the giant marshmallow mascot?
The one and only. Apparently he's a wrestler now, and let me tell you, it's a sight to behold. Picture this. A giant marshmallow man locked in a sleeper hold with a wrestler twice his size. It was absurd, it was hilarious, and it was pure me and the boys wrestling genius.
They always find a way to keep things interesting, that's for sure. But it wasn't all laughs and marshmallow mayhem, right?
Yeah.
We had some serious family drama going down as well.
Oh, absolutely. The tension between King Champ Robertson, the reigning champ, and his brother, the former king, was palpable. You could cut the tension with a knife or maybe a steel chair. This is that classic tale of sibling rivalry, but with championship belts and bragging rights on the line.
Ah, the drama. But speaking of drama, I can't let you off the hook without talking about the poison mist. Did we ever get to the bottom of that mystery?
Well, the poison mist definitely made a reappearance during the Rumble, adding another layer of chaos and intrigue to the whole thing. It seems our mystery poisoner is still out there, lurking in the shadows, ready to strike again when we least expect it.
Oh, they're playing the long game with this one, keeping us all on the edge of our seats. So, with all this going on, the poison plot, the family feuds, the marshmallow madness, who emerged victorious from this epic Royal Rumble?
Well, in a turn of events that surprised even me, DUI, entering at the coveted number 30 spot, managed to outlast all challengers and claim victory.
DUI. Now, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
Right. He's been flying out of the radar lately, but this win puts him in a powerful position. He's now owed a shot at the championship title, and let me tell you, that's going to have major ramifications for the world of me and the boys wrestling.
The plot thickens.
Oh, it most definitely does.
But even with DUI's big win, we can't forget about the whole poisoning situation. DMP is not one to let things slide, especially something as personal as this.
Oh, absolutely not. And let's be real, this isn't just some random attack. It's a direct challenge to his position, his pride. DMP is a force to be reckoned with, and he's about to unleash a world of hurt on whoever's behind this.
Oh, I have no doubt about that. And it all comes to a head in this episode, doesn't it?
You better believe it. DMP calls out Booker Man, lays down the gauntlet in the most epic way possible.
Yeah, talk about a mic drop moment. He basically challenges Booker Man to a match, right? But
Yeah.
not just any match. It's an Iron Man match at their Halloween show.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't he also say something about the whole future of me and the boys wrestling being on the line? Like, what does that even mean in this context?
Right. It's insane. Talk about high stakes. But before we get ahead of ourselves, for those who might not be familiar with the finer points of wrestling, let's break down what makes an Iron Man match so intense.
Oh, you know I'm always up for a good explainer. So picture this. Imagine a wrestling match, but instead of a few minutes of action, you're talking a full hour.
A whole hour.
A whole hour of non-stop heart-pounding action. And it's not just about brawling either. Strategy plays a huge role in an Iron Man match. You have to pace yourself, conserve your energy, and strike at just the right moment. The wrestler with the most pins or submissions at the end of the hour wins.
Wow. So it's a wrestling marathon testing not just physical strength, but mental toughness and strategic thinking. No wonder they call it Iron Man. But to raise the stakes even higher, DMP basically throws down this ultimatum: win, and you control the fate of me and the boys wrestling, lose, and, well, who knows what happens.
Talk about pressure. That's a lot to put on the line, even for a seasoned wrestler like DMP. And let's not forget, this is all happening within the context of this fictional universe they've created.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder, What does it even mean for a fictional wrestling world to be at stake?
Right. Does it just cease to exist? Do the creators hit the reset button? I mean, the whole thing is mind-boggling.
It's that blurring of lines between fiction and reality that makes me and the boys wrestling so captivating. They draw you in with these over-the-top characters and storylines, and then they hit you with these moments of genuine emotion, of raw human drama that transcends the world of wrestling.
It's true, and I think that's what makes this whole poisoning saga so compelling. It's not just about who spiked the drinks, it's about betrayal, ambition, the fight for control, themes that resonate with us all on some level.
100%. It's a story as old as time, just told through the lens of a digital wrestling show. And you know what? It works. Because even though we know, logically, that it's all scripted, you can't help but get invested in these characters, in their struggles and their triumphs.
It's a testament to the power of storytelling, wouldn't you say? We as humans are hardwired to crave narrative, to find meaning and connection in the stories we tell and consume. And Me and the Boys Wrestling, as wild and wacky as it can be, taps into that primal need.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It reminds us that even in a world of digital creations and fictional universes, human emotion, those raw, unfiltered feelings, those are the things that truly resonate and stay with us long after the final bell rings.
And on that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive. But tell me, before we go, what's your big takeaway? What's something that's going to stick with you from this wild ride?
You know, it's made me realize that great storytelling can be found in the most unexpected places. Here we have this YouTube wrestling show with its Stay Puft Marshmallow Men and its DUIs, and yet it manages to grapple with complex themes, evoke real emotions, and keep us on the edge of our seats.
It's a good reminder to never judge a book by its cover, or, in this case, a wrestling show by its giant marshmallow man.
Well said.
So, to our listeners, we leave you with this. The next time you find yourself dismissing something as just a game or just a show, take a moment to look deeper. You might be surprised by the stories you find, the connections you make, and the emotions you feel.